everyone to the 18th episode of In the Spotlight. Today we have with us a true inspiration, a true brand ambassador of Indian sport. We have with us the first female to win a Paralympic medal for India, Deepa Malik. Welcome. Amazing. That's so amazing. Thank you so much for getting this
And
for
I always
us.
say, this medal, you don't wear a Paralympic medal, you hear it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah? And it
amazing.
also has braille on it.
Wow.
So this is for the visually
Wow.
impaired athletes. So that's why these medals are even more special.
Wow, for sure they are. I've actually never seen one, so it's amazing to actually see this. So just to get started, as a
Yeah.
young girl, were you always into sports? And if so, then into which sports and why?
You want me to be honest with it?
Yeah, of course.
So I think I was in love with outdoors. I hated indoors.
Okay.
So the only way in my teenager days, because
Yeah.
I'm talking about early 80s or mid
Yeah.
80s,
Yeah.
uh, sports was the only excuse. So I engaged myself in a lot of sporting activities. I was even the house captain for sports. I was the school captain for school. Very active even as a young child. Of course, I had my stint of 3 years of not walking when I had my first tumor between the 6 years of age and 9 years of age. That was a period of deterioration and then finding of the tumors and then surgery, rehab, and I walked again. So
Yeah.
yes, and if you say sports, well, I think in the college time, then finally, because we remember now we have Khelo India, but when we were young, we used to have Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan sports, and I think we still have because I'm a thoroughbred Kendriya Vidyalaya product. My father was an army officer, so we had a lot of focus. So I remember my school having a baseball, my school having we used to play a lot of kabaddi, a lot of basketball, a lot of kho. So I think yes, I was always on the field. And when I grew up, when I was about in 11th and 12th, I was a very tall girl, and I remember being an art student, we used to uh, kind of show our supremacy to the scientists and the commerce students. Beating them in the basketball field, in the basketball ground during the interval time. So what
Yeah.
you youngsters saw in Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, the basketball matches, I have kind of done that. And in yeah, and in college, I joined the first women's cricket team, which was being constituted in Rajasthan. So, but I would say that I was by choice a motorsports enthusiast, and by design and by accident turned into a sportswoman.
Okay, awesome. But sports has always been a very important part of your
Whether
life,
it is adventure, whether it is, yes, it's been a very integral part.
for sure. So, you're also obviously one of the strongest physically and mentally people that I know. How did you deal with that situation in 99?
See, I think I always say that a human being is nothing but a product of their choices. When doctors told me I have only 7 days to celebrate walking because my tumors were back, and if I survive the surgeries, I'll be left just below paralyzed. Mudit, I was mother of two young girls, and my husband at
Yeah,
that point.
I know about that. Yeah,
So, as a mother, when I was already worried about my husband not returning from the war because there were chances,
yeah,
we all remember Kargil. It is just we just celebrated Kargil Divas on 26th July,
yeah,
and so I guess the whole mode of the country at that point of time was very patriotic. Uh, the soldiers were getting shot; they were losing their limbs in the in the war field, and the hospital in which I was taken for my surgeries, it was full of the war casualties. So I think that immediately became an inspiration, that if these healthy young men are losing a limb in their line of their duty, then I have no reason to crib uh, just because I have a disease. And
Yeah.
secondly, I think being a mother, that was a huge strength, because I didn't want my girls to ever remember me as a scared or as a very sad kind of a person. So I think these two became a huge motivation.
For sure. I think obviously we are all extremely inspired and motivated by you. But I was gonna ask you some of this stuff in the rapid fire as well.
Okay, go
So,
ahead.
no, no, I'll the rapid fire is a bit later, but
Okay.
you're one of the most successful people I know amongst all walks of life. And obviously everyone faces their own challenges. So, what do you think has been one of the one of the most difficult challenges you've faced in your sporting life, and how did you overcome it?
I think if I two things, Mudit, in sporting life. One, the mindset towards parasports. When I
Okay.
joined almost a decade and a half ago, people did not take parasports as a mainstream sport. We
Hmm.
were still struggling for policy. We were still struggling for at par and mainstream recognition. I wouldn't have been
Hmm.
talking to this 15 years ago. It's the younger generation like you and the initiative like these, which is creating awareness towards parasports. And now our government policies are focused towards that. So the biggest challenge was one, a lack of awareness for parasports,
Hmm.
and two, mindsets of people towards disability. Uh, we were never looked upon as healthy people.
Hmm.
And क्या करेंगी, खेलने जाएंगी, पहले तो इस उम्र में खेलने जाएंगी, because I started playing only at 36. I was a swimmer,
Hmm.
and later at 40 I became a athlete. So people were pretty shocked, so that this woman has gone bonkers. She wants to leave her children to go and play. And then what is a woman in her 40s with chest below paralysis doing among young kids trying to play? So that
Yeah.
mindset. And the third biggest challenge was the infrastructure. So policies meant lack of funds, lack of focus to parasports. Second was the mindset of the people and acceptance of parasports as mainstream. And third was the infrastructural challenges, because we don't have end-to-end accessibility. Of late, Sugamya Bharat, Accessible India campaign, lot of focus Modi ji has given, but this is recent. There wasn't
Right, right,
much
right.
being done earlier. Yeah.
Right. So of course you had to obviously fight with your own issues and challenges that you had of being a sportsman, but
Yes.
also somewhat with the system, which is obviously improving a lot now.
General so, societal taboos around
Yeah,
disability. A woman and a married woman and a mother, uh, it was like an added bonanza of challenges.
for sure. But something else that I've read about you and I think really highly of is, as an athlete, I know how tough it is to master one sport. I talk a lot to all my fellow athletes about that as well. But you have, gone about playing three different sports. So how do you do that? Four, sorry, my bad.
Wait, not four.
Six, okay.
Backstroke, freestyle, breaststroke, javelin, shot put, discus.
Shut. Discus, yeah. Oh my God, unbelievable. So how do you do that? How did you possibly change your training and things like that?
I think the idea was to continue to play. And in parasports, we often face the challenge that in a particular event and in your disability category, you are defined by a certain category as per the functionality of your muscle groups. So in my disability category, sometimes because it's a very high disability category, and so in a particular event, it is you often find that suddenly your pet event is not there. So either you miss the event or you start learning the new skills. And they say the victory belongs to those who continue to play the game. जो खेलेगा ही नहीं तो वो जीतेगा कैसे? एंड मुझे खेलना था, मुझे जीतना था। मुदित, मैं खड़ी नहीं होती हूँ जब मैं राष्ट्रगान सुनती हूँ, लेकिन जब मैं अपने देश के लिए मेडल जीतती हूँ तो राष्ट्रगान भी बजता है और तिरंगा भी ऊपर जाता है।
No, I'm feeling goosebumps just while listening to this. Yeah, for sure. But if you had to choose any one of these sports, do you think you could do that or no? Which is your favorite?
It's like telling me which one of my daughter I love more.
Okay, okay.
Each one has
Right, right.
had its own, like, which, for example, javelin has given me a unique record. I have won Asian medals in 3 consecutive Asian Games, 2010, 14, and 18, and each time with a new Asian record.
Yeah.
So, with every 4 years going by, I have improved my distance. With people had a question mark that she's growing old, right?
Yeah.
So, and if I may say that javelin becomes very special because um, I could raise my own bar and I could break the barriers of age, gender, disability in the minds of the society through that. And that's a very unique feat because I don't think, as far as my knowledge goes, that any woman athlete has 3 consecutive Asian medals with new Asian record each time. So javelin definitely I started with, but when it came to Paralympics, just about 12 to 13 months before the main event, I learned that in my disability category, there's only shot put. So I had to quickly transit if I had to play Paralympics. So when I got my Arjuna Award, I got it in 2012. I had already got my World Championship medal and Asian medal, and 2012, this is where it is. This is it, guys. So,
Amazing.
but this trophy of Arjuna Award came more as a compensation. मैं लंदन पैरालंपिक्स नहीं जा पाई थी 2012 में, और जब वहां पे पैरालंपिक्स की ओपनिंग सेरेमनी हो रही थी ऑन 29th August, यहाँ पे I was winning the president award and they said, Deepa ji, you are lucky at 42 you are winning the Arjuna Award for active sports. ये बहुत बड़ी बात हो गई है, तो क्या हुआ, पैरालंपिक्स नहीं गई तो प्रेसिडेंट के साथ एक फोटो खिंचाना बहुत बड़ी बात होती है. आई हैव 5 pictures of 5 awards with the president and I'm glad that I didn't listen to them. And यही मैं हर एथलीट को, हर बच्चे को, हर इंसान को कहती हूँ कि दूसरों को आपके ख्वाबों में रंग भरने की इजाजत मत दीजिए. उनमें रंग अपनी मेहनत, अपनी शिद्दत, अपने पैशन से भरिए. और वही हुआ, मैंने मेहनत करी तो 46 की एज में मुझे फिर ये रियो मेडल मिला, तो ये भी मेरा बहुत फेवरेट है. और 47 में मुझे फिर पद्मश्री मिला एंड एट 49 I got the Khel Ratna. So that
Yeah.
I guess itself a record for somebody to get a Khel Ratna at the age of 49. Active,
49. Yeah.
yeah. So I guess that's been the journey, Mudit.
Amazing. So, if you had to choose any one moment that you could just describe how you were feeling, because of course all of us felt super inspirational, super motivated, super even patriotic, of course, when you won the medal at Rio. If you had to
Mhm.
talk about any one moment, what was going through your mind at that time?
See, I had to face a little bit of a tough time before I left, Mudit. I don't know how many people know about it. but it was heart-wrenching. My own fellow competitor dragged me to High Court, saying that my selection was wrong. So, in when I started my journey of shot put, I was world ranking 9. And by the time I had appeared at Asian Championship in Dubai, I had come up till 7. But the day I did my final trials in India for the quota allocation, one single woman athlete seat, I threw at a distance of world number 1. And that was 4.48 meters. So 4:48 मीटर पर मुझे ये कह दिया गया कि इट इज इम्पॉसिबल कि ये वर्ल्ड नंबर 1 के जितना करंट रैंकिंग में फेंक सकती हैं, किसी ने चीटिंग कराई है इन्हें. That killed me, that was, being an army daughter, army wife, army sister, army daughter-in-law, brought up with values of integrity. That killed me, that my selection was questioned in the high court, and just before leaving I had to battle that court case and then reach Rio. So Rio was no longer the journey of winning a Paralympic medal. It had actually converted into a journey of अपनी सच्चाई को साबित करना. तो 4.48 पे मुझे खींचा गया था हाई कोर्ट में, लेकिन 4.61 पे मैंने वो मेडल जीता था. जब मैंने एंटर किया था, सो द कैमरा पर्सन नेवर पुट द कैमरा ऑन मी. वो उनको जो ऑलरेडी वर्ल्ड रैंकिंग में टॉप 3 दिख रहे थे, आई वाज वेटिंग, व्हेन आई वाज देयर, आई वाज लुकिंग, ओके, हाउ विल आई लुक इन द एरिना ऑन द स्क्रीन. एंड so it never happened. And I, even after when I had won, uh, they probably, I thought, will never have a recording of mine winning that medal, because nobody was expecting I'll do it. And
Yeah.
that second throw was 4.49 meters. And that was the biggest moment for me in Rio Paralympics, because I had crossed 4.48. But I went on to win my silver with 4.61.
This just shows the mental strength and of course physical strength that you possess. But let's sort of go into the rapid fire now.
Okay.
So, of course, as an athlete, what is your favorite cheat meal?
I love aloo parathas and chaat.
Yum. Nice. You nothing like Bombay chaat.
Golgappas.
Do you exactly? Do you have a favorite sports movie?
Yes, I think Milkha Singh and
Milkha
Mary
Singh, yeah,
Kom both.
both of them are amazing. Do you think there's any song name that describes you?
आज मैं ऊपर आसमां नीचे.
Nice, nice. Of course, you're an inspiration to a lot of us. So, but who is your inspiration?
Motherhood being the first one, and definitely my father.
Okay,
Uh,
nice.
he's parents more, but I would give more marks to my dad.
For sure. And just the last one in the rapid fire section, what are your three success mantra words?
uh, Never give up, consistency, self-belief.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so we're sort of going to go back to the regular questions,
Mhm.
and we have a couple more of those. So, as an athlete, of course, being physically fit is very important. But how do you think mental training and mental health has helped you in your sporting career?
A lot, Mudit. And I didn't realize it till the time I got selected in the Target Olympic Podium scheme. Fortunately, we got funding, tremendous funding, and this was the first time para athletes were included in it. And if I did not have Target Olympic Podium scheme, I probably would have never got introduced to sports sciences. And one of the major branches of sports sciences is sports psychology and mental uh, fitness. So it's when I got the money to afford different experts, biomechanic trainer, a physiotherapist, a skill coach, a gym trainer, and then you have a nutritionist, and then comes the sports psychologist, the mental fitness trainer.
Yeah. Yeah.
And for me, I had taken up a Herculean task. एक बहुत बड़ा अ, एक वो ले लिया था अपने हाथ में कि 46 ईयर्स की एज में और 1 साल के अंदर एक नया स्किल सीख के मुझे ओलंपिक का मेडल लेना है. तो बहुत डाउट्स थे. People were making fun of me. People had no belief in me. Some, like, I was dragged to the high court, and so there was a lot of, and then that was 1 year lockdown. It was such a strict lockdown that my trainers told me that even holding a phone and doing this was going to tire my B muscles. And these muscles can make a difference of half a centimeter, which is very important in a competition like Paralympics.
Yeah.
So phone I had given up. I had to stick to a routine. And my age people were having fun. They were partying. They were organizing their daughters' weddings. And I was often being accused of being a selfish mother. That this is the time for her to make her children's career and she's trying to make her own career. So a lot was coming towards me, and mental fitness and my sports psychologist, Dr. Preeti Gupta, she really helped me create that bubble around me to get my focus, to streamline, to reject the negativity and just have the Arjuna like focus. So I think it's very
Yeah.
important. Very important.
For sure. And I think, of course, as you mentioned earlier, also self-belief is something that would have surely helped you.
Yes.
So let's sort of also now talk about some things that you've done post your Paralympics. You become the president of the Paralympic Committee of India. So what opportunities or improvements can be made according to you to promote Paralympic sports in India?
I think my destiny is carved with challenges. I joined the federation. It was again a tough choice, Mudit, because I want to play. I still want to play. I every day go to the field. I do my skill training. I do. I have done like hundreds of videos of home training. So I have not given up on my training. People say, अब तो आप खेल नहीं रहे हो, अब क्या करने जाते हो? अभी भी ट्रेनर लगा रखा है. But I think the athlete in me is still alive. Unfortunately, in 2020, there was no shot put, there was no javelin. Now it's discus, and it's become a combined category. So, which is a disadvantage to me. So even if I start playing, I will never be able to make it because every goal should be realistic.
Yeah.
You. So, being an experienced athlete, I knew it was not my kind of a sport and my ability to reach that level. So why waste time? And during this time, our federation was a little troubled, and they felt that an athlete-centric approach would be the best approach. And I was offered to come and take on the role. And by the time everything got sorted with the paperwork, elections, 5th of February on my father's birthday, I joined the office. And within 15 days, the COVID-19 situation set in.
Yeah.
So, but as they say, there is a silver lining in every cloud. I really didn't have to follow anybody. I was faced with a new, unique situation. एकदम से नई परिस्थिति में सबकी मनस्थिति को संभालना मेरा काम बना. So it was a rude shock. It left a lot of athletes hopeless because of the situation. But I think being an athlete myself, probably that was just the best time to put me in that role. The Almighty designed it like that. And I knew all of them in person. I was the most approachable person. So we've had lots of webinars. We have tried to convert all the classification rules the equipment, the sporting, all the assistive aids, everything which is there in the rule book of IPC. We have held Hindi language webinars for easy understanding. So by now we have created a library of digital reference for athletes to really. So even for a grassroots level athlete, all he has to do is he or she has to just refer to that particular 1 hour webinar and they will know everything. We also try to incorporate Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan teachers, the PGT teachers. We got social justice and an empowerment ministry involved, sports ministry, Sports Authority of India. So we kind of utilize this time to create awareness towards parasports and create content and increase the level of sports sciences knowledge. Introduce athletes, because see, when I'm dealing with physically challenged athletes, 80% of them are from the underprivileged section of the society, below the poverty line. So it is very uh, good that during this time they got a little uh, digitally, qualified, and they learned how to use these applications. And we're very proud that the home videos that our athletes have been sending us, they have become an instrument, very instrumental in creating a positive atmosphere even among the able-bodied. And so these are the little work that we are doing. And I'm also a member in the All India Sports Council. So that also has, so basically been able to represent, we've had international IPC webinars. So in the unique situation, I had to design my own path yet again.
No, I think there's nobody better than you who's been through the system, understood it, and then obviously
Yes. So
performed so well
I can
also
really
at.
relate. I can relate to the pain and the the dilemma of the athletes.
No, for sure, exactly. And also it's very important, I think, at this point to accept the situation that we all are in, unfortunately, due to COVID-19. But making the most of it is very important. But where do you see para sports in India in 5 years? Where do you hope to see it?
Let's take it 5 years back, not
Okay,
see 5 years ahead.
okay,
Rio, we had double the medals.
right.
Okay. We were a squad of 19. We had a gold with a world record. We had a gold in Mariappan and a bronze in Varun Bhati, and I brought home a silver.
Yeah,
And if you can compare it to whatever 160 or 170 able-bodied squad, they came back with a silver and a bronze.
yeah.
So you see the ratio there, 19 and 4 medals, 160. And now let us come to 2018. We were a squad of 194 and we got 3 medals more than the squad of 500 plus from the able-bodied.
Yeah.
So we already set the benchmark. And I'm telling you, the new thing and uh, the sensational thing of 2020 Tokyo in 2021 is going to be Paralympics medals in double digits.
We can't wait to see that for sure. We can't
And
wait to
this is
see
going
that.
to be like how you're saying COVID-19 is the new normal. Paralympics is going to be the new normal in the world of sports in India. We are already
I
being
I hope to see that.
seriously, yes. So now the kind of respect that we have in terms of policies, in terms of even media, and look at yourself. I mean, you've made it so inclusive. So
Yeah.
yes, it's already landed. We have arrived. We are only
No, no, come on.
we are only going to grow stronger and better and bigger and more powerful. More motivated.
For sure, for sure. So, irrespective, obviously, of the presidential post that you hold, but what do you think is your ultimate aim in life in the years to come? Could be sporting, non-sporting, anything.
So I'm waiting for a bigger administrative responsibility so that
Okay.
I can impact the policies and create more infrastructure and opportunities for development of para sports. and empowerment of people in disability. So that's one field I really want to give back to. I already am running a foundation called Wheeling Happiness, where we are helping grassroots level athletes, because once an athlete becomes an elite athlete, there are a lot of funding available now. But for the beginners, we are also taking classes for the families, for the caregiver groups, so rural outreach programs, assistive aids, the right kind of wheelchairs. So want to do more of this work, and probably as a president also give back to best of my capacity. So that's what I really want to do. I want to serve the world of Paralympic sports and the disability sector.
Amazing. That's truly inspirational. And what would your advice be to young and upcoming athletes, or actually people of all life, just to young people growing up right now?
I think what I would say Mudit, आज का जो बच्चा है वो बहुत इवॉल्व है, वो बहुत एजुकेटेड है, वो बहुत अवेयर है. If they have access to knowledge, but they have to be positive in their outlook. You know, knowing something but knowing it correctly and then putting it in the right perspective is very important. So that is very important. And I think for young people to be honest to their dreams, firstly, learn to dream, and secondly, be honest, because no success can be achieved in any kind of shortcut. And thirdly, try to become citizens of the country and not consumers of the country. What people have done now, they have learned all about their rights, but are they balancing their duties with it? So, as much as you want, you should learn how to give back.
Right. So, guys, for all the viewers who have tuned in today, this is the message we have from Dr. Deepa Malik. We have, you need to be positive, you need to be honest. Obviously, you need to dream, and you need to be able to give back to society. But it's honestly been such an honor and such a pleasure having you on this
And
18th episode.
Mudit, a word of appreciation to you also. You are yourself such a wonderful role model. Um, there is no denying the fact that, though not the right term, but still I would say born with a silver spoon in your mouth, and yet I have seen your exercising videos and I have seen the kind of hard work that you are doing. And kudos to your parenting. I'm a huge fan of your mom. The amount she has
Thank you.
contributed to the
Thank you.
development of sports. Uh,
Thank you.
it was very easy for you to just sit back and enjoy life. But to choose to get out there and work hard and practice hard, make your country proud, and choose the field of sports and do these kind of you know um, interactive sessions to create awareness for sports, I think kudos to you. Well done,
Thank you
boy.
so
I'm
much.
proud of you.
Thank you.
And
Your words mean a
to your
lot to me.
mom, and to your family who's doing so much. My elder daughter is a para athlete too, and she is attending the Abhinav Bindra's high performance management course, which again I
Nice.
think is sponsored and run by your mom. So
Yeah,
that's a
yeah, yeah.
huge contribution, because what we need to evolve is this kind of sciences around sports, because we have immense talent in India and we have immense potential in India. We just need the science around it, and that's what you all are doing. So thank you.
Thank you so much for your kind words. It really means a lot to me, and I'll of course tell my parents as well. I'm sure they're watching right now, but
It
just
takes me long
thank you
to
so
get up in
much.
the morning and go to the field. I do it even today at 50. And it is really wonderful that you, if you're saying your parents are watching and you are going to make it more popular through this interaction, because para sports is the new future. And I really hope that a lot of corporate senior heads divert their CSR and fundings towards the development of parasports. There is a lot that we need, wheelchairs, equipment, assistive aids. We need more caregivers to go with the athletes. So the expenses are far more than even in an individual game. You need a team of two.
Yeah.
A family member has to go for catheterization, for diaper changing, and then the coach or the gym trainer has to go for the skill training. So a lot of funding is required, and we are going to get more medals. I'm again telling you on
No, for sure. We're really looking forward to that in Tokyo 2020 to be held in 21.
yes.
All the coming Asian Games, Commonwealth, Olympics, all the other events. But yeah, I was going to say actually we have a lineup of more para athletes coming up, so I'm sure that'll make you happy and hopefully you'll
Oh,
be able to tune in to some of those sessions.
thank you so much.
But yeah,
God bless you.
yeah, I just wanted to thank you for your time and all the viewers for making it here today.
Jai Hind. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Jai Hind, guys. Stay tuned for the episode next week. Take care, guys.